Oh, that's really good. Okay. Now, basically, one more thing before we start, you need to understand that any language, if it has to, if you have to improve your language, it is not like a step. A step has very sharp. Um, Step is very kind of sharp angles, right? So one and two and three and four. Language doesn't improve like that. Language is more like an onion. It has layers. So you create one layer, and on top of that, you create another layer. But for you to create another layer, the inner layer has to be there. You understand? And it's layer upon layer upon layer upon. That's how we learn. And that's why revision is very important. And you always have to go back and see what you have learned, and then we have to learn from there ahead again. Okay. So yesterday we had a few people. I don't know how many of you are here today. But for those of you who do not know me, my name is Subhash. I'm sitting in Hyderabad now. Okay. And this is my office. So yesterday we were looking at there is and there are. And today, to begin with, I have a puzzle. Let's see who can solve it. All right. If there are other people apart from Madan Kumar has actually responded to the chat. Other people apart from that, Meghna, are you there? I know only few names. Rashekar. If there's anybody else apart from them on this chat, on this online class, on so that I get to know that there are people viewing it, and that will make it more interesting for me and as far as for others as well, because it can be a very big platform to learn. Is anybody else? How about, can I chat and see? Oh, okay. So that means that today also we have only Meghna. All right. Okay, cool. So it's only you and I. No problem. It's okay. So can you think about room as this? It is a sterile room, the cleanest room possible. There are people wearing masks, carrying deadly weapons. The room has got a table in the middle. There are some very powerful lights. What do you think this is? Again, the rules apply the same. You need to answer in full sentence. I'm waiting for the answer. If you want me to repeat the question again, yes, I got this idea yesterday actually when you asked me that. Just something that wasn't an operation theta. All right. So that's it. So let's look at quickly what we learned yesterday. That's how the operation theater looks like. It has powerful lights, and by the way, by weapons I mean those sterile um, things they use over there. Pretty sharp. Okay, now as I describe this place, can you see a market? As I describe this place, I want you to notice how we play, how we the words there are once again, and then upon this we will build. Okay. Now it's a very beautiful place. It is sunny and there are many shops. And one of the common mistakes is people say there are so many shops. Please do remember it. So many is a wrong expression here. So many is conditional. What do I mean by this conditional? You see, for example, whenever I use the word so, it is important that it is the word that is used. For example, so that's how it goes. If I say there were so many people, then I have to give a condition that I was affected by it. For example, there were so many people that I got scared. There was so much food that I could not eat everything. Okay, you got it. So if you just end a sentence with so many, it's a wrong sentence. So you got to say, if you want to talk about the quantity, then you use many. There are many shops, not so many shops. Okay, if you want to say so many shops, then you have to give a condition. There are so many shops that the police could not control the crowd entering the shops, something like that. So that is what you need if you use so many, or so for that example. Okay, So there's a girl standing in the market. It is very sunny. There's a fruit seller who's trying to sell his fruits. There is a woman who's selling gooseberries or raspberries, some berries. She has a dog. Okay, there are many buildings behind around the market who are trying to buy, people buying vegetables, and also look at it. Let's think about where is the tree. The trees are behind the building. Now that is what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss about prepositions, but we are also going to make sure that we build upon what we learned yesterday. We are going to discuss prepositions with reference to there is and there are, because like I said, it's like an onion. You don't learn without the context. You build a context and start learning upon that. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. I hope as I could describe, I believe that you also were able to. Now, some of the things that we learned yesterday are this. Let me just go to take you through this. These are the things that we learned yesterday. The focus was the use of there is, there are. So you can say grammatically that we were learning how to structure a sentence. One of the other problems that we face being a non-native speaker is that we have a very strong influence of our own language, and that's our skills, language skills, basically when we form sentences, and people around us also make these common mistakes, and we don't have a reference to check whether we are right or wrong, and we end up saying the same thing because people around us speak the same thing. For example, it is so obvious. Do you hear me? I hope you can hear me. It wasn't plugged. Oh, okay. So like I was saying, yeah, like I was saying, there are so many people who are around us who make mistakes that we also think it's the right thing. For example, one very common mistake people do is asking, "What is your good name?" And we never thought about it. And that's actually a translation of Hindi word. What is "Aapka shubh naam kya hai?" And people still tend to use it. Just give me a minute. Everybody, please, class, just give me a minute. Upstairs because it's open. I'm sorry for that. All right. So, like I was saying, there are petty little mistakes that people do, and we don't know because people around us keep they keep making the same mistakes. And other example is for your kind information. People say that this is for your kind information, right? Why am I telling you all this? Because we have to think about how our own language influences other languages, and a good communication skill is that it has no influence of the other language on it. It basically is pure in that sense. So, kind information. Can information be kind? No, it cannot be kind. It can be right, it can be wrong, but cannot be kind. So that's a wrong adjective there. But we do make all these mistakes. Okay. So look at it. Yesterday we looked at there is, that is singular. We use there is for singular, and we use there are for plural. Okay, we also looked at articles. We looked at the use of a or an. I gave you an example yesterday about it, how we, though we have learned that it's vowels, but mainly it is vowels, but we determine it by the sound. I shared that with you yesterday. I showed you how, with an example of I saw an airplane. I hope you all remember that. Yeah. All right. So, and the application of what we learned yesterday, since we call it functional English, we should start applying it. There is, there are, you can talk about your immediate context of concrete type. Concrete type, that means things that you can see. So that can be of describing your room that you're already in. You can describe your room. You can describe your car. You can describe your workplace that you are there. And something that is abstract in one sense and concrete in the other is talking about the places you visited. The places that you visited, they are there, but when you're talking about them, they're not there. So you can still talk about them. Oh, you know what? I went to Uti the other time. It's such a beautiful place. There are so many restaurants that you wonder which one to go to. There's a beautiful lake. You see that? How I just started describing a place with there is and there are. So description is a very good way of learning how to speak English because it challenges your vocabulary, it challenges your sentence structure, it puts your sentence in a perspective. Uh, okay, so it's a good one. So let's not waste a little more time on it. We'll go ahead. It's a riddle time. Okay, I hope I add these little riddles in between so that since I cannot see you, I want to wake you up. I don't want to keep you bored. Now, let me read the riddle for you. Imagine that you are in a boat in middle of the sea. For this, I would need a reply. Okay. Imagine that you are in a boat in the middle of the sea. Suddenly, you are surrounded by hungry sharks just waiting to feed on you. How can you put an end to this? Think. It's a riddle. Only the smartest can answer. You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Please think faster and try and answer. After 30 seconds, we can't wait. I will have to go to the next slide. Next slide is the answer. So try hard. Imagine that you are in a boat in the middle of the sea. Suddenly you are surrounded by hungry sharks just waiting to feed on you. How can you put an end to this? Meghna, are you there? You're the smartest one yesterday answering all the questions. Okay, your time's up. Should I go to the next slide? Now that's pretty easy to say that. No, there are sharks. It says there are sharks surrounded by. Okay, I'll give it another chance. Now, let me imagine that you are in a boat in the middle of the sea. The answer is basically in the question. I want you to think harder. Think about it. Anybody else apart from Meghna there? You can also answer. Okay, should I go to the next slide? Say yes or no. All right. Stop imagining. Pretty simple as that. You see, imagine that you're in a boat. You're imagining, and now all you got to do is stop imagining. I know silly it is, but it's fun. Okay, let's get back to the class again. Prepositions. Now, look at this classroom very closely. Look at it for a minute. Okay, about 30 seconds. I'm going to ask you a few things. And take a very good look. You can look at the picture, the man with the big mustache, where the computer is, where the table is, where the books are, where the flower pot is. Okay, these are the books. If you can see the cursor. Now think about it. But before you start answering, can you tell where these things are without using the words in red? That is on, beside, in, below, behind, near. Can you answer them? Let me go back to the picture again. Think about those words. In, on, beside, below, under. Without these words, would you be able to describe these things? Where is the computer? Yes, you use the word on the table. That's right. So, the word on, beside, in, below, behind, near are called prepositions. Here I have made, just for us to remember that I am calling them location words, but they are not grammatically location words, not because not all prepositions are location words. We'll discuss that in a minute. Okay, now can you answer these questions? Where is the computer? Now, remember, let's look at the image once again. Okay, very closely, remember as much as possible, and then I'll ask you questions and then you'll have to answer them one by one in full sentences. Okay, good. Now, where is the picture of the man with a big mustache? Yeah, you don't have to say hanged. It's on the wall. You can say. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there is a little the word hang and hung and hanged and hung are little confusing words in English. But you can in this we'll discuss that further on when we have other classes where we discuss all those. But now, to keep it simple, you can say the picture is on the wall. It's very simple. If you can see the book that I'm saying, anything that is basically touches the surface, okay, that's called on. Okay, anything that doesn't touch the surface, that's called below or above. So is this is below, it doesn't touch the surface, so my hand is below the book. I can also say under the book. But now look at it, if I use another book, it's very important. There are two books now, book 1 and book 2. Okay, now this book, I cannot say it is below, I have to say it is under, because it touches the surface. You understand? But this here I can use both. I can below and under. But in this case I cannot say this is below. I have to say it is under. So anything that touches the surface is always under. So is something that touches the surface above it. That's on again. Alright. So where are the books? Can you answer this question? Where are the books? The sentence that I think there was a little typo that you typed. There's something missing in the sentence that you just typed back, Meghna. The books on the table. What is missing? Yeah, let me tell you. The books are on the table. Okay. And where is the duster or the eraser, depending on the kind of a board that is? Where is the duster? Ah, you didn't notice the dust, did you? Yes. No, it is not on the table. You cannot get away by saying everything is on the table. It is not on the table. Think for a minute. Okay, quickly for a second, I'll go back to the image. Yeah, let's see. Can you see the duster? Where is the duster? Can you see the cursor? Okay, I think there's particular word. For example, excuse me, a window has a place there, right? On the kitchen, we have a place to keep stuff, where we keep our gas stove and all the other food, all the other items that utensils that we need in the kitchen. So any platform that extends from the wall is called a ledge. Okay, so here the board, and just below the board there's a extension to keep the dust. So that's called a ledge. That's called the ledge of the board. Okay, let me just type the word so that you are clear about it. It's called LEDGE, ledge. Okay, so it is on the ledge. It is on the blackboard ledge. Okay, ledge of the blackboard for that matter. So where are the benches? Where are the benches? Where are the benches? Can you answer back? Where are the benches? Yeah, I mean, logically, maybe perhaps you can say that, you can even argue for that. I was looking for more of an answer. They are in the classroom. Okay, so benches are in the classroom. It can be behind the chair also. There's no grammatical mistake over there. It's just a perspective. Anyway, and where are the sheets of paper? Now, if you look very carefully, I haven't written paper. I have written sheets of paper. There's one reason for that. Paper is uncountable. So you don't have papers. So that's a mistake. We always have sheets of paper. You don't count paper. Paper is a name of a material that is used that we usually write on. For example, soap. We don't have soaps. We have bars of soap. Soaps is a mistake. It's a common error that people make. Chocolates, for the chocolate. You get chocolates in liquid. We get chocolate in bars. We get soap in powder. We get soap in liquid, and we get soap in bars. So soap is not countable. So is paper. You understand? So paper can be as big as the carpet. Okay, the paper means a material that we write on. So we don't say papers, we say sheets of paper. Last reason I use the word sheets of paper over there, just to clarify that. Now, where are the sheets of paper? If you can answer. We'll go quickly. Let me show you the classroom once again. Okay, they're on the table. Okay, now let's go to the next. Some of the common errors with preposition that people make. Now there are these four sentences are wrong. Okay, and I will read the sentence at a time, and then I want you guys to correct it. One house is there, backside of my house. Now, that's a very common sentence that I usually listen to when I go to schools. Even teachers make this mistake. This is a mistake very dominant in Andhra and Telangana area. There are a lot of mistakes that are, for example, when I go to Madhya Pradesh, I see people have problems with pronunciation. Here, since we have a very strong language, we make a lot of mistakes in mother tongue. We have a mother tongue influence in the language. Okay, one house is there backside of my house. How would you correct this? What's the mistake? Basically, the right answer on this question reflects back on what we have done so far, yesterday's class. One house is there backside of my house. What do you think is wrong with the sentence? Can anyone answer? Meghna, can you answer? One house is there backside of my house. The sentence does look like it is right, but it is not right. There are three major mistakes in the sentence. One house is there backside of my house. Can someone try and answer? Meghna, can you try and answer? Okay, that's all right. No problem. You see, one house is there backside of my house. It's exactly a translation of mother tongue. The right way of saying this is there is a house behind mine. We don't say backside. Backside means bum in English. So behind is a position. Okay, I'll stand behind me. That's a position. You take a place behind me there. If you say backside, I kick you on the backside. That means I kick you on your bum. That is how it is. So backside is a wrong word here. Okay, backside is not a preposition. It is basically a word for that. I just told you. One house is there backside of my house. So you say there is. Whenever we start a sentence, we start with there is. There is a house behind mine. Let me write the sentence so that you go. I have it in the next slide anyway. There is a house behind mine. We don't even have to say behind of my house. Okay, there is a house behind mine. Mine includes that you're talking about your house. So that is how crisp language can be. So we don't have to be very verbose. As Indians, we are very verbose. Okay, he is very angry on me. What do you think is wrong in this sentence? It's a wrong use of preposition. He is very angry on me. What is wrong here? I told you the use of on is wrong. Can you try and correct that and put the right preposition? He is very angry on me. How would you rectify this error? He's very angry on me. Can you try, Meghna? There are no wrong answers, but it would. Absolutely, that's right. He's very angry with me. But commonly, people make a lot of mistakes. It is on left side. Can you solve this problem? It is on left side. Prepositions actually prove how good you are in language, basically, because they are native speakers don't have much of problems with that, but we as non-native speakers, we make a lot of mistakes with prepositions, and the use of prepositions mistake blunders the entire meaning of it. He's on left side. Can you try and answer what's wrong with it? So it is on left side. Okay, no problem. Let's go to the next one. It is nearby my house. It is nearby my house. What do you think is a mistake in this sentence? And this is also a very common mistake that I have come across that people make very often. It is nearby my house. Alright, let's go to the next slide and we have answers for all of this. Yeah, these are the corrected sentences. There is a house behind mine, like I already told you. He's very angry with me. You are right, Meghna. Your sentence was right. He's on the left. You see, now we have a lot of redundancy when we use words. Left itself is a side already, so we don't say it is on the left side. The other example for this is it is black color. Black is a color. It is red color. You can say it is red in color, but you don't say red color. It is red in color. That sentence is okay. It is red color is wrong. Why? Red already is a color. So you can say it is red. It's understood. So is a similar example. It is on the left. That's right. It is on the right. You also sometimes use to the left. If you are in fact you are trying to guide somebody, giving directions, and you want to be very specific, then you can say my house is to the left of Srikant's house, for example. I give an example here. And the last sentence was nearby, right? It is nearby my house. Nearby, after nearby we don't have an object, okay? So we just say it is we have to say it is near my house, where you're talking about my house is a reference, so it is near my house, or else it is nearby. Both the speaker and the listener know near what is the reference. For example, when I say, let's say we are sitting in a canteen and my friend asks me, where is the saloon? I say it's nearby. It's understood that it is near to the canteen that we are there sitting. You got it? So when we say nearby, we don't use anything else right after that. We don't have an object because it's implicit, understood that we're talking about the reference is the place where we are already. Okay? But for example, let's say you are in school and you're talking about something that is near your house, then you have to say it is near my house. Okay? So if you're in school, if you say nearby, it is near the school that you are. Are we clear? I mean, are there any doubts so far? Any doubts, Meghna, so far? If there are, please ask me and I can clarify that. Chat. Did you understand the difference between nearby and near? Oh, good. So that makes me a good teacher. Okay. Alright, let's go. It's time for the riddle. Let's see. So that I don't bore you again. You are in a cabin and it is pitch black. You have one match with you. Which do you light first? The newspaper, the lamp, the candle, or the fire? Time for it. You're in a cabin and it is pitch black. Pitch black is uh, as black can be, so you can't see. The other words like expressions about black, like pushing in the darkness. For example, you don't push the darkness because you can't see anything, so you put your hands in the front and then try to move because you don't want to fall or you don't want to hit anything. That's called pushing the darkness. Pitch black. Ah, okay, that's pretty smart. Well, I didn't get that when I heard this. Oh, very good. I actually thought we'll write the newspaper. I was stupid. Anyway, you're smart. Good. So let's, yeah, that's right. You light the match first. Now, we will learn about giving directions. Prepositions are very useful when we talk about, when we describe the place or when we also give directions. Okay. Now, there are some expressions which I want you to go through, you all to go through. Go past. What do you mean by go past? It is not a time travel request. Go past. It basically means that, you see, I stay. Let's say you stay. Let's say you stay in Dilsukh Nagar, and I go to LB Nagar. Then say, where are you? I say, I just went past you. That means we passed. I left you behind. Okay, so when you cross something, that's called go past. Go across. That means basically to mean that from one end you go to the other end. Okay, go across the tunnel, go across the bridge, go through the tunnel rather. Go across the bridge is basically from one side of the bridge to the other side of the bridge. All right, go along. That means continue down the road. Go straight on. Don't turn left or right. Go up. It is not an implicit meaning of committing suicide. It is just to mean, say, go up means go up. You can also use it to as go straight on. Go down, drive down, or go through. That is a tunnel. So something that like a pipe which is covered, so you go through. Get off. That means basically exit. Okay. Go out of. All right, exit. It is in front of you. It's opposite the bank. One more thing, it is opposite of the bank is wrong. Okay, you don't say it is opposite side. You say it's opposite or it's opposite the bank. Opposite of the bank is again wrong there. Opposite itself is a preposition. We don't need another preposition. Okay, it's on the corner. All right. So remember this: go past, go across, go along, go straight on, go up, go down, go through this tunnel, go out of. That it means to change lanes or leave that road, get out of that road, exit that road. Okay. Again, the phrase is to give directions. For example, it's about 5 minutes from here. When you don't know how many kilometers is that, it's 5 minutes. It just takes 5 minutes from here. It's about a 10-minute walk. That means you need to walk for 10 minutes from the place that you are to reach to the place that you want to be. It's easier if you can show you on the, if it's easier if I can show you on the map. Because in Hyderabad, people don't know any maps, but still guide you. Everything is straight in Hyderabad. So it's easier if I can show you on the map if you want to be precise. Right? Now, there are a lot of instructions. I hope you guys are, if it's on the screen, just take your mobile phone and take a picture. I can go back for that. So you don't have to write it down. It's smartphones have made everything easy. Just take a picture if it's on the wall. If it's on your screen, just take a picture so that you remember this. When I ask you next questions, you can use this and talk to me about it. Okay? So, are you taking pictures? So that, because do take pictures, because the next slide after this, I'm going to ask you a few questions and I want you to interact with me, guide me through this. Okay? Meghna, can you hear me? All right. So take pictures of this as well. If you can write down, you can write down. If you can take pictures, you can take pictures. But these are very useful expressions that you would need to talk while you give directions. Okay, turn left, turn right. See, again, we don't say turn left side or turn right side. Left. Remember that. Turn left or turn right. Go straight on at the lights. That is the signal that we call. Okay. Crossroads, you know, crossroads where the road cross. Roundabout is basically where all the cars take a circle in the middle of the road. That's called, we call it chaurasta here, and in the middle of that we have it. Take the first turning, that means take the first turning on turn left on the first turn. You will see, that means you will come across, you'll find a place there. Don't take the first road. Okay, skip the lane, go to the next road, go on for about 2 minutes, okay, or 100 meters, or walk for 5 minutes. It's just a 10 minutes walk that we learned. Some of the landmarks that we can use when you talk about describing this place. Taxi rank is what we call a taxi stand. Level crossing is track crossing, basically where it's level crossing is a track. You have this big levers going up and down to protect you from train coming across. Underpass is like a subway that we have. Overpass or flyover that we usually call here. They call overpass over there. Zebra crossing. Okay, one more thing. It is not zebra. We have been told by our teachers it's zebra. It is not zebra. It is zebra. The right pronunciation is zebra. Pedestrian crossing. That is basically for people who walk to cross, something like zebra crossing. Tunnel, you know. A tunnel is almost like a subway that we have, but shorter ones. Crossroads, where the roads cross. Okay. Can you see the picture? There's a okay now. I hope that you have taken pictures of the preposition that we were discussing, because I want you to use it and direct me. Can you direct me to go to school from Catherine's house? You see, school is on the top left corner is the school. Okay, Catherine's house. So you know the school right it's on the right bottom. So from the school, you have to guide me to go to Catherine's house. So if you have taken the pictures of the preposition that we just discussed on the screen, you will be able to do it. So just if you want it, I can go back to the slides again, quickly go through the words like we discussed: go past, go across, go along, okay, turn left, turn right, you will come across, you will find a building, you will find a supermarket, okay, there are words like that, on your left, on the right, all right. So now can you, Meghna, I think you're the only student I have who is responding to me, so I would I would rather ask you to write it. Okay, so guide me. There are no wrong answers. Attempts are all welcome. Okay, so from school to Catherine's house. It's not very difficult. Yeah. Try, Meghna. You can do it. You can say by lane. You don't have a crossroads there. We have a by lane or a main street. Walk till the main street, turn left. One sentence at a time, and we can work together on that. Okay? Can you guide me to go to Catherine's house from the school? Meghna, you're there. Alright, no problem. Let me help you. I'll help you with Catherine's house, and you have to help me with the I'll help you. Supermarket. Okay, you respond to that properly, but then you're not responding to the activities that we are doing here. Okay, so it's walk for 5 minutes from the school. You come up, you'll find the main street. Turn left. Okay, walk for about 5 minutes. You'll come across a library. Okay, turn right from there. Walk for 5 minutes, and on the left you have David's house. Are we going to Catherine's house? Okay, I took you to David's house anyway. So can you take me to Catherine's house? No, give a try. It's all right. No, no, one sentence at a time. It's fine. No problem. It'll not take time. Let's see. We are at the school now. How about from David's house to supermarket? All you got to do is take one turn. So how do you start? It's pretty simple. Let me go back to 2 slides before. There you'll find. Okay. And walk for how many minutes? We have expression, right? It's about 5 minutes from here. It's about 10 minute walk. Yeah, you're right. Go on. We take right first. And then what we do? Yeah, good. It's about 5 minutes from there. And what do you come across? You come across something, right? In between. There are at least 2 things that you find. Yeah, we come across a park. Absolutely. Yeah, what do we do next? Where do I go next? Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's go on to the next slide. Please do take a picture of this slide that you have, and you can try and answer these questions when you have free time. I'll go to the next slide. Now it's a riddle time again. Okay, let's see if you can solve this. Good, you solved the last one. You're smart. Let's. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? This I will definitely answer. Take your time. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? Okay, come on, give it a try. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? So while you are thinking about the answer, also look at the word that I have marked red, in a corner. These are prepositional phrases. Okay, so we have in the corner, on the table. Okay, beside the building. Okay, these are all small phrases that are they're called prepositional phrases. So, what can travel around the world while staying in a corner? Alright, anyway, I think you don't know the answer. Should I go to the next slide? Is there anybody who can answer this? Is it so difficult? Okay, let me crack the egg. Oh, don't reveal the answer. I'm very sorry. Don't look at it. Did you look at it? Well, I believe you haven't looked at it. So, all right. Anyway, I'll reveal it. A postage stamp. It's usually on the corner, right? And then it goes everywhere. Yeah. It's silly, but it's fun. All right. So let me show you a picture. In this picture, there is something that is hidden. It's not something. Basically, it is a fire extinguisher, the one that we have to quench fire in the buildings. Where do you think it is? And also, please find a toy dinosaur and a school bus in this. Can you answer me? First, let's answer where is. You can ask me questions like, is it on? Is it there? Is it below? Okay? And I can answer you back. There is a fire extinguisher hidden in the room. Where do you think it is? I will answer only those questions that are asked in full sentences. No, but you need to ask full sentence and then I'll answer you. Maybe you are right, but ask in full sentence. Like I said, is it? You can ask a question like, is it behind A? If you can type it, I'll tell you whether it's there or not. Maybe it is not there. Is it behind A? Yes, you're right. It is behind A. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but now see, if I move A, where do you think it is? Now if I move A, let's assume that I have taken A out. It's a box. Where is the fire extinguisher? Can you answer? Rather ask me a question. It is on the wall. Very good. Now the question, if you are not sure, if you wanted to ask me, you would have asked me, is it on the wall? Okay. Let's play a small game. All right. Now I'll also there is abacus hidden in this room. Okay. The children play abacus. Calculate. You ask me questions. Is it? And I'll answer you if it is there or not. You can use all the prepositions that you have. You can use on. Is it on the table? Is it below the books? Is it beside? You ask me questions. Is it a question? Next question. Don't have to look clearly. It's as simple as that. If you ask 3 or 4 questions with all the prepositions, it can be below something, it can be by or near something. So quickly, 5 questions. Even if you ask 5 questions, even if you are not right, you get full points. I'll give you 10 points for just asking questions, not guessing. Let's do this part. Is it in the wooden box? Okay. Where can it be? Where else can it be? It can be on, it can be below. Any guesses? Okay, next question. Where is the bus? School bus. Can you hear me that? Okay, where is the school bus? Where is the school bus? Is it? Yes. Go on. Yeah. Now basically I'll give you a clue. That's a clue. You say Yes, where is it? Now, inside is not the one, it's in is the verb there, okay, not inside. You say in. Inside is something, all the sides are closed and you can't see it. That's when it is inside. In is when you can see it and yet covered by four sides. That's called in. Okay. Into, again, another example, but that has to be followed by an action. He jumped into. So it has to have an action before we use into. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to hide a pen in the room somewhere very quickly. I'll ask you questions, and for every question I ask, you have to answer me in full sentence. Am I clear? Can you say yes or no? Just hide the pen somewhere in the room. I can't see. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions now. Is the pen behind the computer? You have to answer me in full sentence. No or yes? Is the pen behind the computer? Have you hidden the pen? Hide the pen somewhere in the room. You can hide it anywhere in the room. Is the pen behind the computer? Yeah. Now, how you answer is no, it is not behind the computer. You can also say there is no pen behind the computer. That's also really good. No problem. Good job. Okay. Is it with someone in the class? 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 No, yes. Okay, alone. Okay, so the answer is no, it is not with anyone. When you ask a question, you can say someone because you don't know. And when you know the answer no, you have to say anyone. Okay? No, it is not with anyone. Alright? Okay. Is it in the book? Is it in the book? Is it in the book? Yes, no. Yes, it is in the book. No, it is not in the book. Is it in the book? Alright, so we have to rush a little ahead. Okay? So you can play this game, hide and seek. Alright? So in your class with your friends to improve your proficiency, all you have to do is hide a pen or anything that you like in our room. Then people can ask questions like, is it on the table? Is it in the box? Is it behind the books? Is it with someone? Okay, is it below the chair? And one person can answer it and they get time to but make sure that you also ask in full sentences and your friends answer in full sentences. Alright, so that would help you work on your prepositions. It's a fun game as well. You can play with children, you can play with adults. It's a really fun game. Okay. Now, reflection. Okay, it's almost time, 9:59, and so what did we do today? We reflected back on the use of there is, there are in the first few slides, and I told you about the use of there is, there are and the application of it, and reinforced prepositions. Okay, we corrected some common errors. Giving direction wasn't very interactive, but maybe next time we can do it better. Do take the slides and look at those expressions that I put in the slides. It will be very helpful. and we did very elementary yes no questions. Okay, yes no questions are very important. We'll do that once again. But we did, is it on the table? That's a yes no question. Yes, it is on the table. No, it is not on the table. All right. And last riddle for the day before we close. What kind of a room has no doors, no windows? Can you answer this? What kind of a room has no doors or windows? What kind of a room has no doors or windows? Once again. Megan, are you there? Yes, so tell me, what kind of a room has no doors or windows? Yeah, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. You have 30 seconds. Should I change the slide? Okay. Should I or should I not? All right. Mushroom. All right. And yeah, by mushroom, I remember we also had, I said man with a mustache. People usually, that's another wrong pronunciation. They say mustache. Mustache. But it's actually mustache. Okay. And mushroom. All right. It's hilarious. It was a great time. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow again. Have a great fun. All right. Thank you.